Hi everybody. So this week I'm reading branch chapter 5, the Sacred and the Profane. She talked a lot about um, people's history with reading versus writing. Um, and it's sacred, I guess. Not to, beat our words up, but she was making the point of how people didn't really use libraries as much. Um, People actually bought books. There were a lot more bookstores. Um, People actually handed books down from generation to generation because they were sacred and they actually meant things to people. People actually didn't have computers just to go and Google things. People took education and literacy seriously. So the libraries were meant for people who didn't have access to books. So if you needed to go and just use a book, you would go to the library. But if you needed the sole possession of the book and if you were able to buy books, you would keep the book and buy the book and pass it down so your family could have all this information. And she was saying how kids and families would see all of these books from generations passed down, and those kids will become really smart by just reading all of the books that were in the household. And she was saying how across different things like ethnicity, background, things like money, things like your job, it doesn't really matter by research on school in terms of kids and who was the smartest or whatever, because everybody in different time periods, they all had access to books, if that makes sense. For example, let's just say one class of students, if we did a test on one class of students, let's just say 40 years ago, all of the demographics of those kids could be different. And it's not to say that one group of people have a better access to books than the other. Everybody just has different chances and accessibilities to those books than the other. And so I guess my reaction to the book, to that chapter in the book, was that my dad definitely had bookcases and bookcases of books. And I definitely dove into some of them, but I wasn't able to read all of them. I would definitely be a genius. But it definitely swayed me to one way or the other in terms of civil rights and things like that. But I definitely did get started reading earlier. I wouldn't say I don't use the library, because I do. And we definitely didn't have a lot of room for all of those books, but it was a good investment. I wouldn't say that it's a lot of bookstores. There are as many bookstores as there used to be. As a kid, I remember we always used to go to Left Bank Books, for poetry readings and just to pick up books, just to look at books, and that was just always a fun thing for me. So yeah, great night reading that chapter. Have fun, guys.